The hell are you supposed to be? I'm vengeance.
So I think we're all on the same level. We all understand that media is biased, clearly biased. Anyone that denies that is a fanboy or absolutely ignorant to the reality of things, which is clearly out there in your face on a daily. It's just, there is absolute bias. You cannot deny the bias. You only decide to ignore it because it suits your agenda. It suits the narrative of the console war. It fuels the console war, and a lot of people getting off on that. It's quite sickening and weird. But we get the journalists have to be biased because at the end of the day, it gets them clicks. Because all they care about is money. I don't give a shit about you. I don't give a shit about your system. They're quite happy to flip flop, depending on where the clicks come from. So they all switch independently. They all just switch. I admit they always switch. Right, so I mean, people said, yeah, but during the 360 era, they may well have done. They may well have been biased towards the 360 when it was popular at the beginning, but then they switched to the PS3 and the PS4 for clicks. But then be consistent. Then just dislike them across the board. Don't switch because they suit your narrative, and then switch back when they don't. Don't like them, dislike them, like them, dislike them, like a lot of the fan bases do now. So we get that the journalists are biased. We get that. What I'm not getting is gamers. Why are gamers biased? These journalists are getting paid, but you're not. I mean, that idiot's comment with the guy with the hearts around his face is Tonka. Xbox is stealing exclusives because they don't have any good ones. What do you mean stealing exclusives? When Sony bought Insomniac and made Spider-Man exclusive, did that steal Spider-Man? Did that make they steal it exclusive? Because Spider-Man wasn't exclusive before then. When they bought Naughty Dog and started making Naughty Dog games exclusive, and any studio that anyone's ever buying, especially on the Sony side, in fact, most definitely on the Sony side, all the studios they're buying, they're making the games exclusive. Are they stealing exclusives? What you're saying makes no sense, and this is where your stupidity overrides your common sense, because your lust for a fake console war. Microsoft needs money. They're $1 trillion company. They dwarf Sony. What do you mean they need money? They've just spent $7.5 billion acquiring ZeniMax. How much did they give you? Well, $7.5 billion. That's how much they gave them. $7.5 billion. And they're bad if they make their games exclusive? Really? But Sony are okay to make their games exclusive. They gave Insomniac $250 million. But that's okay. You can make games exclusive for just $250 million. But for $7.5 billion, you should make your games exclusive. Where's your common sense? You're fucking literally stupid. It's grinding on me how low your IQs are, how stupid you actually are. The stuff you say, it is brainwashing. I blame the media and I blame Sony for this brainwashing. It's a pandemic.
I'm one of the baddest motherfuckers of all time. One of the best singers and one of the best looking motherfuckers you've ever seen. Hold my drink, bitch.
Sony fans now going crazy. They're demanding Sony now buy more studios. Why? So they can make the games exclusive? Because that's okay for them to do so, but it's not okay for Xbox to do so? They're even making up photoshopped images of PlayStation buying 2K. This is how sad and mad it's just got. This is how deluded the fan base has got, the gaming world has got, thanks to media. We have the fans now claiming that, like, the pre-orders now, which are successful for the Xbox, are only happening because of scalpers. Scalpers are only buying the Xboxes, not Xbox gamers. Even though Xbox has voted the most wanted tech over PlayStation 5. PlayStation 5 wasn't even nominated. The Xbox was voted the most wanted tech. And then we've got examples like these, with the Sony raising the prices, the screw up with the backwards compatibility, which they're not clear about. They're not clear about their console. They're not really showing it physically. They just keep showing the same JPEGs. What's the cooling system about? The whole power with the SSD, where is that coming into play? We've not really seen it. People are going to say Ratchet and Clank, but is that really a demonstration of SSD power? Is it because it flips between worlds? The medium flips between worlds. It runs 2 worlds simultaneously, and Xbox hasn't got near the same power. Then there's the whole exclusives nonsense debacle and stuff from the lies and that Sony are giving. Is it a wonder people are flocking to Xbox now? They've just bought Bethesda. But no, you think it's scalpers, even though they even screwed up their launch with the pre-orders PS5. But you're just blinded by just your own fanboyism. The fanboys are now scrambling. They're panicking. They need to find a reason to hate on the console. To fuel this console war, keep it going. You've got idiots that are claiming Xbox are being now anti-consumer. They're being anti-consumer by buying Bethesda. That's anti-consumer. Even though they're offering better game deals, you can get games for cheaper. It's anti-consumer. How is offering a cheaper service anti-consumer in any way, shape or form? Don't complain about them. Ask the ones you are championing to do better. They're holding them to digital. They're holding them to a renting service. You're not holding anyone to anything. It's digital games holding people to a service. If you buy digitally now is increased. It's 70% to 80% of games sold are digital. And people complain about it. You complain about that. Nobody's complaining about digital at all. Nobody's complaining about PS Now. Nobody's complaining about Netflix. Nobody complains about that. Why are you complaining about Xbox doing it? It's because it's your weird, warped mindset sense that you have to hate on something that Xbox do that's proactive, that's pro-consumer, because you're so indoctrinated with hate on Xbox, because it's what you've been preached by the media. It's been what you preached by these idiots. These people preach it. These like evangelists is what I call them. J-Dub and the idiots, Crap Gamer, Pertrock, or his name is. If it wasn't for these fucking morons constantly asking Microsoft for better deals and better leadership, the ZeniMax deal wouldn't have gotten done. I applaud you guys for holding their feet to the fire and not accepting mediocrity as a way of life at Xbox. What? So let me get this right? You got Putrock, which firstly said exclusives are bad, don't go down exclusives route. But then the moment Sony flip-flopped with the PS5 and made all their games on PS4, which I've shown in the previous video, he suddenly supported exclusives, said exclusives are good for gaming. He completely flip-flopped, right? You got Crap Gamer, that's well-known flip-flopped from Xbox, hating on the PS brand and then loving the PS brand, and all he does is post-hate, clickbait, and absolute junk. J-Dubs, that's got his nose so far up these people's arses, anyone else, any arse he can find. MM2K ain't got a clue that fucking guy is. But you're all brainwashed morons, evangelists that are just breeding stupidity into your fan base. It's like, it's incredible. Why Microsoft? What were Microsoft thinking? What should we do now? I don't know. What should we do now? I don't know. This sort of Putrock and Crap Gamer are going, oh look, let's send us. Yeah, let's spend £7.5 billion on the word of them morons. Them morons have convinced us to spend £7.5 billion. These are the guys that said Game Pass is a shit idea. These are all these idiots. The guys have been against Xbox at every practice they've done. They've all been against Phil, and now they're trying to get kudos for it. Now they're trying to say it was all on them. It's their idea. Absolute fucking idiots. How about the idea that PlayStation 5 now has gone cross-gen? That's completely Xbox's idea. Everything PlayStation 5 is now doing, Sony's now doing, has been completely Xbox's idea. How about that? What about all that? You're just not going to mention that. You're going to make out that you convinced Microsoft to spend £7.5 billion, did you? You absolute fucking idiots. At the end of the day, the gamers lost sight. Those gamers lost sight. They thought gaming was about winning. They thought, rather than just playing their games and enjoying them, like we have done in the past, they thought it was more of a competition between consoles, and that superseded actually enjoying and playing games, which is where it all went wrong. And I'm hoping this brings it all back to reality. When I was young, we just used to play games, no one gave a shit which machine you owned. Now, because it's a much younger generation on PS4, they've been moulded into this hype of a console war, and they've all just taken aside. And generally, it's just ruined gamers. The PS gamers, I would say, are just an ignorant fan base that just are young and new to gaming, and they're just jumping on board, and they've just joined at the wrong time. Now, with this, we hope that it can eventually go back to what it should be about, which is what Phil's trying to push: gaming. Unfortunately, it doesn't help still that you've got idiots on certain sides still pushing the narrative and you've got idiots like the Cletus in my comments right now, fake gamers that just flip flop and switch all over the place and just can't even be consistent with anything. But at the end of the day, it's about gaming. Choose your preference and enjoy your preference. Stop whining, basically. If someone does something that you don't agree with, unless it's anti-consumer and this is bad for gaming, then just shut up. Just be quiet. You've got no voice. Stop trying to clickbait at the end of the day. More importantly, I think I'm going to leave it there because I've dragged it on. So I'm going to just leave with you this little funny meme that I found the other day. So thank you all for watching, and goodbye for now.